Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you caught the last video on the taxi and takeoff tutorial, I hope you enjoyed it and gave it a like if you did. If you missed it, just click on the banner up top and I'd recommend watching from the beginning of the series as well, so you have a proper understanding of this aircraft. Feel free to subscribe as well to not miss the rest of the tutorial series on this Aerosoft CRJ version 2. This video will cover the steps of climb and cruise in the CRJ before we go over the descent and landing in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to check out the rest of the series too. Enjoy! So we have ourselves vectored now on a nice intercept for the rest of our navigation. One thing now that as we are climbing, if we were to look at the FMS down here, and look at the perf page and the VNAV setup, we can see that our target speed is 290, as we're above 10,000 feet now. Below that would have been 250, so what we can do is set our speed to 290, and I'll make sure that our throttle lever is in the climb position there. And what that will do is that it will set the plane to automatically reach 290, so 290 knots, and then at that speed it will continue the climb. So I believe we have to be above 11,000 at Azwak, so we are already there. That is absolutely fine. As our plane increases its speed to reach 290 knots, it will then automatically pitch up and start a VNAV climb up to the 16,000 feet that we were aiming for. Let me check if I've already done it, as I don't believe I have. Here we can turn the landing lights off. The recognition lights can stay on as they are recognition lights. And as our speed increases, a few more things that we can do just to tidy up, such as disarming the thrust reversers, as we no longer need those. Otherwise everything is looking nicely cleaned up in here. There we go, we've reached 290, and as you can see we have now started pitching up again and climbing up towards 16,000. And as we're on a good climb, we can actually just continue our climb up towards the flight level of 39,000 feet. There we go, 39,000 feet, and up we go. We're going through some clouds now, so I'm hoping there's no icing. No, we're straight out into blue sky above. That is wonderful. And there we go, that will continue on as we are staying at 290 knots. We are on our heading now, and I think as we're approaching Azwak, it's a good enough time to change from heading mode into nav mode. And as we are close enough to that nav path, the plane will automatically switch and join the white nav path for the rest of the flight. We're also now above that 18,000 foot transition altitude which we had, so we can go down here and push to standard barometric pressure and continue our climb up. That beep right there indicates that we are approaching our top of climb. That means that any moment now, as we reach this 39,000 feet, the aircraft will no longer be taking care of the climb as it is finished, and we will need to manually control the throttle and the speed. We need to set a throttle position where we're not moving around too much of the speeds. During the progress of the flight, you may need to manually correct it up or down as much as is needed. So once again, it's a hands-on aircraft. This is something that you have to pay attention to fairly often. You don't want to overspeed the aircraft by going too fast or go too slow and possibly stall the aircraft. So the speed is something you need to take good care of. If you look down at the FMS and you look at the VNAV setup, at the second page, the cruise page, it will have a target speed of either 300 or 290 or something like that, and a Mach number. So here we have 300 and 0.74. That we have 0.75 as a speed target. If we drop that down to 0.74, that can then be our new cruise speed target. So we are now at 39,000. If I zoom in here on the PFD, this little purple line above, that means that we are increasing our speed. As you can see, I've moved the throttle back into a manual position, and it is now gone below, and we're decreasing speed, and I'm just slowly moving the throttle position till we get somewhere within. I just like to keep it within the pink box. There we go, we're about at 0.74 there, and just try to hold it at a position where it is pretty stable. You will see that line turn up or go away every once in a while. I like to say, like I said, as long as it's within that pink box, then the speed is fine. For the cruise, that is about it. Just a case of keeping an eye on that. Also, when you turn, it's good practice just to reset the heading indicator so that it's in line if you get any vectors from ATC, whether you're on VATSIM or not. If you're on VATSIM or something like that, they may decide to vector you. If you start spinning the heading bug without the, or toggling the heading without the heading bug being in the correct direction, you can then start moving way too far than you wished. It's just good practice just to have that always tuned to the correct heading that you are currently flying on. Now, we're on a level cruise now over to Washington, and for the next video we can look at the descent and landing. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do feel free to like and subscribe to not miss the next part of the series. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, do leave them down below and I'll answer them as best I can. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one.